My doorbell camera says I'm home, but I'm already inside at 2:19 a.m. My phone buzzed and the doorbell camera showed me standing at my own door, waiting to be let in. I was on the couch with the TV off and my keys on the table, so I pressed play with my heart hammering because I could see my hoodie and the way I stand when I'm tired. I spoke into the app, the little two-way mic crackling, and said, hello, like I was the one outside. The man on the screen blinked and looked straight into the lens, but the angle of his left eye was just a little wrong, like he was trying to remember where the camera was. I told myself doorbell cameras glitch, that maybe it cached footage or looped an old recording, but the timestamp said 2:19 and the streetlight was flickering just like it was right now. Say something, I said into the app, and the man outside tilted his head in a way I recognized too well. He mouthed words without sound for a second, then my phone finally caught the audio, let me in, my own voice said, a half-second out of sync. I didn't go to the door, I watched the little thumbnail and told myself maybe someone was playing a prank with a deep fake, but I live on the 4th floor with no easy access to my door. The motion ended after 6 minutes, and the app marked it as a person seen, like that was enough explanation. I scrolled back through the event history because I couldn't sleep, and found 3 more person seen clips around 2:19 on previous nights I had slept through. In each one the hood's up and the stance is mine, and he doesn't knock, he just waits like he has a key and forgot how to use it. I texted my neighbour across the hall, Jonah, he's a night shift nurse, hey, did you see anyone at my door around 2 a.m. recently? And left it because it was stupid at that hour. He replied immediately, I saw you in the stairwell tonight, man, thought you were just back late. I wrote back, no, I'm inside, but the typing bubble came and went like he didn't want to be in the middle of it. At 2:34 a.m, my building app pinged my key fob had been used at the front entrance at 2:16, the exact fob ID assigned to me. I walked to the door and checked my keys still on the table and told myself the system locked or mislocked, because otherwise I had to consider my own keys existing twice. That's when the doorbell rang, the old bell that hasn't worked since I moved in. The screen lit up, another motion event, and there I was again, closer to the peephole now, the brim of my hat shadowing the top half of my face. Who are you? I asked into the mic, which felt idiotic because it was me asking me. On the screen, my shoulders rose and fell in a sigh I've seen in mirrors, and my voice came back on a lag, whispering, stop playing around. I called 911 because that felt like the rational thing to do, but the operator said, we've already got a unit en route to your welfare check, sir. I told her I didn't call, and she read back a transcript of a man's voice matching mine stating his name, my name, and saying, he won't let me in. I watched the screen while she asked me to stay on the line, and my double's face moved closer to the camera, as if he was trying to see past it and into my living room. The feed glitched then, one frame cutting to grey, then back, and the chain on my door rattled like it had weight. Sir, the operator asked, but she sounded far away now, like the call was underwater or I was. The figure outside stepped back and looked down the hallway to the stairwell, and the notification chimed that my basement camera, one I didn't know I had, was offline. I heard the elevator cables hum and a distant metal door close, and then there was nothing out there but a hallway that suddenly looked too long. When the police knocked, I put my eye to the peephole and it was 2 uniforms and Jonah, looking pale, because even he could tell something was wrong. They watched the footage with me on their phone because I couldn't make mine go full screen without shaking, and one officer said, could be someone with a similar build, but didn't sound convinced. The camera had caught one clean frame as he leaned close, and it was my face, except the mouth was a little too small for my teeth, like a ratio off in a print. They did a sweep of the hall and the stairwells and found the basement door to the outside propped open with a rock I didn't own. The concrete by the boiler room had wet footprints like someone had stood there a long time, and the tread matched my sneakers exactly. Back upstairs, I checked my shoes in the closet, and the soles were damp, but my socks were dry, and I didn't like what that implied. The officers told me to call if anything else happened and that people sometimes fixate on faces and grainy footage, especially late at night. I fell asleep at dawn with the TV on for noise, and when I woke the screen time summary told me I'd used Apple Maps for 37 minutes around 3 a.m, walking directions to my own address. At work, my pass card log showed an access at 1:48 a.m. to the print room, and my boss asked if the reports I printed were urgent, which is a terrible way to learn I've apparently been living 2 lives. I checked the building management portal on my lunch break and saw my fob had tripped the trash room door at 2:26 a.m, a place I avoid because it smells like old rain. I set a trap that night, taped a hair across the door seam, sprinkled baking flour on the inside mat, and aimed my old laptop camera at the entry, feeling ridiculous and also like I was preparing for an animal. At 2:19 a.m. On the dot, the phone buzzed, and there he was again, the hood down this time, my hair a little flatter than I would wear it. I pressed the intercom and said, "What's my mom's maiden name?" because I didn't know what else would prove anything. He said it wrong first, the letter off by one, then corrected himself in my annoyed voice. Sorry, I misheard you, like I would. The doorknob turned gently, and the chain pulled taut for a second, and then the laptop streamed the inside deadbolt rotated half an inch like something had nudged it from the hinge side. I backed away from the door, and the air vent above my couch whispered like a mouth too close to the slats, let me back in. The basement camera pinged briefly back online and sent a single snapshot of the boiler room with two shadows but only one pipe to cast them. When the motion stopped, I let my shoulders drop, and I hated myself for it because that's when the laptop pinged, motion detected, from inside, timestamp 2:19:3 like it was happening simultaneously in two places. The frame it captured was me at my own door from the inside, braced and pushing like there was someone on the other side doing the same. I left for my friend's place the next evening before dark with a duffel bag, but halfway down the stairs a text came from an unknown number. Stop changing the locks, typed in my shorthand, punctuation exactly like mine. Jonah opened his door as I passed and asked if I needed a ride, but he looked at my apartment door when he said it, like he was talking to both of us. The chain creaked behind me and I couldn't tell if it was memory or sound, so I put my eye to the peephole one more time before I left. My eye stared back at me from the other side, but the blink was out of rhythm like someone remembered how it was supposed to go and got it almost perfect. "I have your bed," the breath in the wood said, so close I could hear my own dental click from the T-sound. The 911 operator just called me a second ago to confirm the unit on scene again, and I can hear the faint radio chatter from the hall that isn't there in my hall. I'm writing this on my phone with my back to the bathroom door because it has a bolt, and the building app just registered my fob at the front door at 2:19 in spite of my keys being in my pocket. Something slid my spare key under my door an inch as if to push it back to me, but it stopped against the jamb like it wanted me to notice how close it could get. The chain is on, but the deadbolt just turned from the other side, and the voice outside is mine asking if I'm ready to trade.